glass forest was silent. It was not made of green trees. It was made of sharp, clear crystal. The trees looked like frozen lightning bolts shooting up from the ground. The ground was not dirt. It was crushed diamond dust. It sparkled under the dark, heavy sky. Kakarot stood perfectly still. He was breathing very slowly. His chest moved up and down. He was naked from the waist up. His muscles were hard like iron. His skin was covered in white scars from his training with the ghost Wispy. He was listening. The demon realm was never truly quiet. Even in a silent forest, there were sounds. The ground hummed with magic. The crystals vibrated. Kakarot closed his eyes. He extended his senses. He was not looking for a sound. He was looking for a feeling. He was looking for a rip in the air. Suddenly, a crystal branch fell from a tree behind him. It was sharp enough to cut a tank in half. It fell fast. Gravity in this part of the demon realm was 50 times stronger than Earth. The branch fell like a bullet. Kakarot did not turn around. He did not move his feet. He just flickered. One moment he was there. The next moment he was gone. There was a grey blur in the air. The crystal branch hit the ground where Kakarot had been standing. It shattered into a million pieces. The sound was like a bomb going off. Kakarot appeared 10 feet away. He was sitting on a high branch of another crystal tree. He was looking down at the shattered glass. He rubbed his chin. Too slow, he whispered to himself. He looked at his hands. They were trembling a little bit. The void step was a hard technique. It forced his body to move through a hole in reality. Every time he used it, his stomach turned upside down. His head hurt. It felt like someone hit him with a hammer. But he was getting used to it. He was a Saiyan. His body learned fast. Pain was just a teacher. He hopped down from the tree. The glass dust crunched under his boots. He touched the black crystal necklace around his neck. Malik gave him this key. It opened the shadow temple. But now the temple was empty. Wispy was gone. Kakarot had absorbed the knowledge. Now he had to use it. He needed to find food. His stomach growled. It sounded like a beast in a cave. He had not eaten a good meal since he left the temple. He wanted meat. He started walking north. The map in his head told him there was a settlement that way. Malik used to talk about the Iron Mountains. He said there were mines there. Where there were mines, there were workers. Where there were workers, there was food. Kakarot walked for hours. He did not run. He wanted to save his energy. The landscape changed. The glass trees disappeared. The ground turned into black rock. The air got hotter. It smelled like sulfur and rotten eggs. Smoke rose from cracks in the ground. In the distance, he saw them. The Iron Mountains. They were huge. They were jagged and black. They looked like the teeth of a dead giant. At the base of the mountains, there was a village. It was not a nice village. It was a prison. There were high walls made of spiked metal. There were guard towers. Red light swept across the ground. Kakarot stopped behind a large boulder. He crouched down. He lowered his power level. He made himself feel small, like a rock or a bush. He watched. Inside the walls, there were hundreds of people. They were not humans. They were demons. But they were small demons. They had grey skin and long ears. They looked thin and weak. They were carrying heavy baskets of rocks. They were chained together. Guards walked among them. The guards were big. They had red skin and horns. They carried whips made of fire. "Move faster, scum," a guard shouted. He cracked the whip. It hit an old grey demon. The old demon fell. He dropped his basket. Black rock spilled everywhere. The guard laughed. He raised the whip again. "Get up, or I will burn the flesh off your back." The old demon tried to stand up. He was crying, "Please, master, I am tired. I have not eaten in 3 days." The guard did not care. He swung the whip. Kakarot watched. His eyes narrowed. He felt a strange feeling in his chest. It was not fear. It was disgust. Malik taught him that the strong take and the weak die. That was the law of the demon realm. Kakarot understood that. He hunted beasts. He killed to eat. But this was different. The guard was not hunting. He was not fighting for survival. He was just being cruel. He was bullying someone who could not fight back. It seemed pointless. It seemed weak. A true warrior fights strong opponents, Kakarot thought. This guard is a coward. Kakarot stood up. He walked out from behind the boulder. He walked toward the main gate of the prison camp. He did not hide. He did not sneak. He walked like he owned the place. A guard on the tower saw him. "Hey, who is that?" Another guard looked. "It is a kid, a human kid." "No, look at the towel." "Stop right there," the guard shouted. He pointed a spear at Kakarot. "This is the property of Lord Vorg. Turn around or die." Kakarot did not stop. He walked until he was right in front of the gate. The gate was made of solid iron bars. It was 20 feet tall. "Open it," Kakarot said. His voice was calm. The guards laughed. "Did you hear him? He wants us to open the gate. He is crazy." The guard on the tower aimed a crossbow. "I will put a bolt through his eye." The guard fired. The arrow flew at Kakarot's face. Kakarot caught the arrow. He did not even look at it. He caught it between 2 fingers. He snapped it in half. The guard stopped laughing. "Open it," Kakarot said again, "or I will break it. You little brat." The guards on the ground charged. The gate opened slightly and 3 big red demons ran out. They had axes. "Kill him." The first demon swung his axe. Kakarot stepped to the side. The axe hit the dirt. Kakarot punched the demon in the stomach. His fist sank deep into the demon's gut. The demon folded like a piece of paper. He flew back and hit the iron gate with a loud clang. The other 2 demons paused. They looked at their friend. He was unconscious. "What are you?" one guard stammered. Kakarot looked at them. "I am hungry, and I don't like your faces." He moved. He was too fast for them to see. He kicked one guard in the knee. The bone snapped. The guard screamed. Kakarot spun around and used his tail. His tail hit the 3rd guard in the neck. The guard dropped like a stone. Kakarot turned back to the gate. He placed his hands on the iron bars. He pushed. His muscles bulged. His aura flared purple for a second. The iron groaned. The metal bent. The hinges popped. With a loud screech, Kakarot ripped the gate off the wall. He threw it aside. He walked into the camp. The slave demons stopped working. They stared at him. They had never seen anything like this. A boy, half their size, just destroyed the gate and the guards. The old demon, who had fallen, was still on the ground. He looked up at Kakarot with wide, fearful eyes. "Are you a god?" the old demon whispered. Kakarot looked down. "No, I am a Saiyan." Suddenly, a loud siren began to wail. It echoed off the mountains. Red lights flashed everywhere. More guards came running. There were 50 of them. But behind them, a large door opened in the side of the mountain. A figure floated out. The figure was tall and pale. He wore a long black cape with a high collar. His skin was white like bone. His eyes were red, glowing pits. He had long, sharp claws. He did not walk. He hovered a few feet off the ground. This was Lord Vorg, the master of the mine. Vorg looked at the scene. He looked at the broken gate. He looked at the beaten guards. Then he looked at Kakarot. "Who disturbs my work?" Vorg asked. His voice was smooth and cold like oil. Kakarot crossed his arms. "I did." Vorg floated closer. He sniffed the air. "You smell. Delicious. You smell like raw power. You are not a demon. You are something else. I am the guy who is going to take your food, Kakarot said. Vorg laughed. It was a soft, creepy laugh. Food. You think you can just walk in here and take what is mine? I am Lord Vorg. I am a vampire demon. I have drained the blood of 1,000 warriors. Vorg raised a hand. A ball of red blood magic formed in his palm. You will be a fine meal, boy. Your blood sings to me. Kakarot grinned. He got into his fighting stance. Finally, someone who might be fun. Meanwhile, in a universe far, far away, planet Earth was shaking. It was not an earthquake. It was a spaceship. A massive spaceship had entered the atmosphere. It was round and huge. It looked like a giant crab made of metal. It blocked out the sun. The ship descended on the West City. It did not land gently. It crushed buildings. Skyscrapers crumbled like toys. The streets cracked. People screamed and ran. Dust filled the air. The ship extended legs and locked onto the ground. A ramp lowered. Steam hissed. A group of soldiers marched out. They wore armor that looked like Frieza's army, but the symbol was different. It was the symbol of the Cold Force. At the end of the ramp, a chair floated down. Sitting in the chair was a giant. He looked like Frieza, but much bigger. He had purple horns on his head. He wore a cape. He held a glass of red wine in his hand. This was King Cold, Frieza's father. He looked at the destruction around him. He took a sip of wine. So, this is Earth, King Cold said. His voice was deep and commanding. It is a primitive mud ball. I don't see why Frieza was interested in this sector. A soldier ran up to him. He was a small alien with a crocodile face. Lord Cold, our scanners detect the energy signatures we are looking for. The 7 magic orbs, they are scattered across the planet. Good, King Cold said. Find them. Bring them to me. I wish to be young again. I am tired of having back pain. Suddenly, a tank rolled around the corner. It was a tank from the Earth's military. It had the Red Ribbon Army logo on it. Stop right there, aliens, a voice shouted from a loudspeaker. This is the territory of the Red Ribbon Army. Surrender or be destroyed. King Cold looked at the tank. He raised an eyebrow. Is it talking to me? He asked his soldier. I think so, my lord, the soldier said. The tank fired. A shell flew at King Cold. King Cold did not move. He did not blink. One of his elite guards, a blue alien with long hair named Zarbon, stepped forward. Zarbon caught the tank shell with one hand. The red ribbon soldiers inside the tank gasped. Impossible. Zarbon smiled. How rude. Zarbon threw the shell back at the tank. It hit the tank and exploded. Boom. The tank turned into a ball of fire. King Cold sighed. He looked bored. Kill them all. They are annoying. Zarbon and the other elite, a pink spiky alien named Dodoria, laughed. They flew into the city. Zarbon fired a beam from his hand. It sliced through a building. The building fell. Dodoria opened his mouth and fired a blast that destroyed a whole city block. The humans had no chance. The Red Ribbon Army sent jets. The jets were swatted out of the sky like flies. They sent robots. The robots were crushed. General Blue, one of the Red Ribbon leaders, tried to use his psychic paralysis on Zarbon. Zarbon just looked at him and smiled. Cute trick, Zarbon said. Then he kicked General Blue through 3 brick walls. In the ruins of the city, King Cold waited. He checked his scouter. There are no high power levels on this planet, he said. The highest is barely 100. How disappointing. I was hoping for a workout. He did not know that somewhere in the north, a girl named Bulma was hiding in a cave with a bandit named Yamcha, holding a Dragon Ball and shaking with fear. They had seen the news. They knew the world was ending, and there was no hero to save them. Back in the demon realm, the fight between Kakarot and Vorg had begun. Vorg was fast. He moved like smoke. He teleported around Kakarot, slashing with his claws. His claws were coated in red magic. If they touched Kakarot, they drained his energy. Kakarot dodged. He weaved his head left and right. He was learning Vorg's pattern. "You are slippery for a monkey," Vorg hissed. Vorg waved his hand. The blood on the ground from the guards Kakarot had killed began to move. It lifted up. It turned into sharp spikes. "Blood spear," Vorg shouted. The blood spikes flew at Kakarot. Kakarot jumped into the air. He spun his tail. He used his tail like a propeller to hover for a second. "Not good enough," Kakarot yelled. He dove down. He aimed a kick at Vorg's head. Vorg raised a shield of red energy. Kakarot's foot hit the shield. There was a shockwave. The ground cracked. The slave demons covered their heads and ran for cover. Kakarot bounced off the shield. He landed on his feet. He looked at Vorg. "This guy is using magic to protect himself. I have to break through it." Kakarot remembered Wispy's training. Mix the energies, hot and cold. He cupped his hands. He flared his Saiyan Ki. It was yellow and bright. Then he pulled in the dark energy of the demon realm. It was purple and cold. Vorg's eyes widened. "What is that energy? It feels wrong." Kakarot smiled. "It's not wrong. It's evolution." Demon flash. Kakarot fired the beam. It was a violet lance of destruction. It hit Vorg's red shield. The shield sizzled. It cracked. Vorg strained. He pushed more magic into the shield. "No, a mortal cannot break my blood magic," Vorg screamed. Kakarot pushed harder. "Ha!" The beam broke the shield. It hit Vorg in the shoulder. Vorg screamed. The beam burned a hole right through his shoulder. His arm fell off. It turned to ash before it hit the ground. Vorg stumbled back. He looked at his missing arm. He looked at Kakarot with pure hate. You cut off my arm. I will drain you dry." Vorg's eyes glowed brighter. He opened his mouth. A high-pitched screech came out. It was a sonic attack. Kakarot covered his ears. The sound hurt. It felt like needles in his brain. Vorg charged. He used his remaining hand to grab Kakarot by the throat. "Got you," Vorg yelled. Vorg's hand started to glow red. He began to suck Kakarot's energy. Kakarot felt weak. His vision blurred. He felt his life force leaving his body. The slave demons watched in horror. Is the boy going to die? Kakarot felt the drain. It was cold. But then he felt something else. He felt the anger, the Saiyan rage. "You want my energy," Kakarot choked out. "Then take it all." Kakarot didn't fight the drain. He pushed more energy into Vorg. He overloaded him. He poured his wild, chaotic, angry ki into the vampire lord. Vorg's eyes bulged. "It's too much. It's too hot. Stop." Vorg tried to let go, but Kakarot grabbed Vorg's wrist. "No," Kakarot said. "You are hungry. Eat up." Kakarot fled his aura. He went into the wrath state. His eyes turned yellow. Vorg's body started to swell. The energy was burning him from the inside out. He glowed yellow, then purple. "I can't hold it," Vorg screamed. Kakarot let go and kicked Vorg in the chest. Vorg flew back. He hit the mountain wall, and then he exploded. It wasn't a fire explosion. It was a burst of pure energy. It wiped out the guard tower. It disintegrated the rock. When the dust cleared, there was nothing left of Lord Vorg, just a scorch mark on the mountain. Kakarot stood there. He was panting. He was tired. The overload had drained him too. He fell to one knee. Silence fell over the camp. The guards, who were still alive, dropped their weapons. They ran away. They didn't want to fight the monster who blew up their boss. The slave demons slowly came out of hiding. They gathered around Kakarot. They looked at him with awe. The old grey demon stepped forward. He knelt down. "You freed us," the old demon said. "You killed the tyrant." Kakarot looked at them. He stood up slowly. He wiped blood from his lip. "I didn't do it for you," Kakarot said. "I did it because he attacked me." The old demon shook his head. "It does not matter why. You did it. You are our savior." The other demons knelt down, all of them. Hundreds of grey demons bowing to a Saiyan teenager. "Hail the Conqueror," they chanted. "Hail Lord Kakarot." Kakarot frowned. He didn't like that title. Lord. It sounded like Frieza. It sounded like Shula. "I am not your lord," Kakarot said. "Then what are you?" the old demon asked. Kakarot looked at the Iron Mountains. He looked at the vast, dark world of the demon realm. He realized something. He couldn't survive alone. He needed food. He needed a base. He needed information. Malik told him to take the throne. To do that, he needed an army. He looked at the slaves. They were weak now, but they were angry. They hated the demon lords. "I'm your general," Kakarot said. The demons looked up. "General." "Yes," Kakarot said. "I am going to kill Dabura. I am going to take the capital. If you want to stay here and dig rocks, stay. If you want to fight, come with me." The old demon stood up. His eyes shone with a new light. "We have waited for a leader. We will follow you. We will fight." "Good," Kakarot said. "First we eat. What is in the storehouse?" "There is dried meat and fire wine," the old demon said. "Bring it," Kakarot ordered. That night, there was a feast in the prison camp. It was not fancy, but for the slaves, it was the best meal of their lives. Kakarot sat on a crate. He ate huge amounts of food. He watched the demons. He saw them sharpening sticks. He saw them fixing armor. They were transforming from slaves to soldiers. Kakarot felt the black crystal on his chest. He thought of Wispy. "Control it, or you will destroy everything you love." "I don't love anything yet," Kakarot thought, "so I have nothing to lose." But deep down, he felt a pull, a strange sensation. It was like a radio signal in his head. It was faint, but it was there. It was coming from very far away, across the dimensions. It was a call for help. He didn't know who it was, but the massive power level of King Cold on Earth was so strong that it was creating ripples in the fabric of space. Kakarot looked up at the red moon. "Someone is strong out there," he muttered. "Someone really strong." He clenched his fist. "I hope they wait for me." Back on Earth, night had fallen, but the sky was bright with fires. The West City was burning. King Cold sat in his ship. He was bored again. "Have you found the balls yet?" he asked. The crocodile soldier ran in. He was trembling. "Lord Cold, we have found 3, but what?" "The others are moving. Someone is gathering them." King Cold smiled. "Oh, a race. How fun. Who is gathering them?" "We detected a small signal moving east. It is very weak." King Cold stood up. He walked to the window. "Send the Ginyu force," King Cold said. The soldier gasped. "The Ginyu force? But Lord, they are your elite special squad. Is that necessary for a weak signal?" "I want this done quickly," King Cold said. "I want to be young by tomorrow morning. Call Captain Ginyu. Tell him to go to Earth immediately." "Yes, Lord." The soldier ran off. King Cold looked at his reflection in the glass. He touched his face. He saw a wrinkle. "Soon," he whispered, "I will be immortal. And then I will crush the Kais. I will rule the entire universe forever." In the eastern desert, Yamcha drove a jeep. Bulma was sleeping in the passenger seat. She was clutching the dragon radar. Por was flying next to them. Yamcha was sweating. He was driving fast. "We have to find the last ball," Yamcha said to himself. "We have to wish for that monster to go away." He had seen the news. He saw the city get destroyed. He knew this was not a normal bandit. This was an alien invasion. Yamcha was scared, but he looked at Bulma. She looked peaceful when she slept. "I won't let them hurt her," Yamcha thought, "even if I die." He didn't know that 5 space pods were already hurtling towards Earth. 5 pods containing the most eccentric and dangerous posing team in the galaxy. The Ginyu Force was coming, and Earth had no Goku, no Vegeta, no Piccolo, no Gohan. The odds were 0. Or were they? In the demon realm, Kakarot stood on top of the prison wall. He looked at his new army, 500 demons. They were not strong, but they were loyal. He raised his hand. "Tomorrow, we march to the Blood Plains," Kakarot shouted. The demons cheered. "We will take the weapons from the armory there, and then we go to the castle." The cheer was louder this time. Kakarot grinned. This was better than hunting alone. This was conquest. The Saiyan of the demon realm had taken his first step towards becoming a king. Episode 4. End. Next time on Saiyan of the demon realm. The Ginyu Force lands on Earth and terrorizes the humans. Bulma and Yamcha are cornered. In the demon realm, Kakarot leads his army into a trap set by Dabura's sister Tauwa. Kakarot must unlock a new level of power to save his soldiers, and he discovers a portal that might lead him back to the mortal universe. Will he choose his army or his home?